Kalau kau tak tahu, si apa ni?
Fahmi.
Fahmi dengan aku ada common friends.
Who is it?
Oh, pasal
Over here?
Ni dah start belum ni?
tak belum start.
Belum start.
Boleh start lah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome guys to kita punya second episode dengan Fahmi and Azar. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay, Azar, I just want to go straight to the question that I wanted to ask you earlier on. Okay, so in comparison, education system dekat Singapore, I mean the one that you worked with, and also the one in Dubai that you started off in 2013. What are the differences and the challenges that you face?
Differences. Okay, it's very different. Very difficult to compare because in Singapore, I worked in two different settings, like local and international. But essentially, they follow Ministry of Education standards because they are supposed to. Like there's no other way. Over here, yes, you are guided by Ministry of Education and KHTA, but it's just like basic standards you have to meet, but parents are also given a choice whether you want to do IB, Canadian, EYFS, Indian or Russian for the bigger schools. For nurseries, it's mainly EYFS or IB or Canadian.
Russian lah.
I think that's also Swedish kan?
Yeah.
I think
Just
that's
in case lah, orang rumah kalau Russian, boleh lah. Maksud
Boleh.
Untuk anak aku bukan orang rumah aku, orang aku macam tak apa.
Dah ada itu apa? Dah ada calon apa?
Kita boleh belajar.
Betul.
Suam menentukan.
Betul.
Swedish, I don't know, but I think Korea Kids just got bought over by a Scandinavian school.
Scandinavian.
But I didn't know about the Swedish bit. So so parents have to first decide what kind of curriculum they want, which in itself is very difficult because we're not used to it, right? Like in Singapore, you're only given that one curriculum. We can only go to Ministry of Education, right? Like in primary school, you can only go to local schools. We are not even given the choice to go to international schools.
Correct.
But here you have to decide, like you want IB.
And then for Omar, what do you think?
Omar, actually, I didn't even know. Fahmi said, just in case we go back to Singapore, might as well put in British school.
Okay.
The difference is British school is slightly similar-ish to the MOE standards in this sense. Like you have spelling, you have tests. It's kind of, you learn this, it's this, you're tested for this. Whereas IB is more like hands-on, project-based. So if the anak is pemalas, then that's it lah.
Yeah, it's
Full hands-on juga. Hands-on face.
it's like
Jangan tak boleh. Sekarang banyak apa tu helpline.
macam Eldon lah. Eldon was from Fairgreen, which is American IB. So we just pull him out to GEMS, which is British curriculum. Not because we want to change his curriculum to more of the Singaporean style. But it's just that the Fairgreen school fees is too expensive.
Expensive.
It's more expensive.
It's not a little expensive. It's almost double.
Really?
It's almost double. Yeah.
We are paying 56 now per year, 56,000 per year.
For primary apa ni?
Year 3, which is primary 1.
Berapa?
56,000
56,000 dirham, not including all the other.
Kalau orang-orang Perak berapa?
That one expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive.
Like Fairgreen, the one that
was more, no?
68.
See, 10,000 more.
For my son, I pay.
Nak juga.
Doakan.
Amin.
InsyaAllah.
Amin lah.
InsyaAllah.
Amin.
Tadi you cakap EYFS apa benda?
Early years framework. So that's very British. It's preschool British. So EYFS, it's a foundation stage.
Okay.
Early years foundation stage, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, so it's FS1, FS2. It's about 3 to 4 years old. So it's our...
3 tahun dah masuk sekolah?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Aiden's age lah.
Aiden's age, just now.
FS1.
Yeah.
So they go to big school. They call this big school from 3 years old. So from 3 to 5, it's still preschool, and then 5 onwards, you go year 1.
Okay.
Year 1.
All right.
So Omar is year 3.
Right.
But how is he adapting in school?
Oh, he is having fun. Because again, it's not very, it is sit down learning in international standards, but nothing compared to Singapore.
Tapi untuk dia okay lah Umar sebab he was born habis dia terus dah adapt dekat sini
Yeah,
kan.
okay.
He's part of the system.
Like
We went back to Singapore for 3 months. We put him in a Singapore nursery. First day of school, he came back crying. Second day of school, he came back spelling 0.
Mestilah dia test ni Mandarin wah. Chang Hua Yi mesti dia balik nangis.
English, but the spelling was a sentence.
Oh.
So and then the teacher also forgot to give us the spelling list, and then, of course he came back with.
No,
zero.
the teacher's fault what?
Also.
Okay, semua salah.
But yeah, I mean, he came back crying every day saying, "I hate school in Singapore."
Alamak.
Wow, okay. That's a big statement.
Yeah, I hate school in Singapore.
But I think a lot of Singaporean that we have spoken to when they go back to Singapore to adapt back to Singapore punya standard and the curriculums and the education is suffering for the kids to be honest. I mean we can see a lot of them are struggling.
Yeah.
So that is
Any particular reason why?
Because here it's very hands-on play-based. So like one of his comments is there are no activities, it's just studying. But basically that's the reason.
Okay,
more
okay.
academic.
So I know
Very
some of
academic.
the guys who probably they're in the mission kan macam consider ke anak-anak diorang bila balik kan because they go to a lot of schools already, they travel, they bring their family and all. If they go back to Singapore, they have to be like macam not have to, but then I think they're more comfortable in the international school punya system lah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Members diorang pun also probably the same. Their parents also they travel, come to Singapore. International school dah senang.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
Also,
Yeah.
Singaporean you
yeah,
can't
very
go.
difficult. But also, I think when you grow up in an international setting, naturally, to ease into this might sound action, but to ease into your Singaporean counterparts might be a bit challenging.
Challenging.
Yeah, like sorry, Omar's cousins don't understand him sometimes.
Right.
In what sense? Tak dia punya language ke, dia punya mentality, dia punya character?
Language also, and the mentality.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, language is the main
Yeah,
thing.
language is the main thing.
It's always when Azar look at you like, right? Yeah. Correct.
Eh,
No, but
Nanti dah kahwin dah tahu lah.
kau belum kahwin kau jangan buat pasal ni.
really, when you go back to France, like it's different when he goes back to Singapore. Okay, fine. I feel lah.
Yeah. Okay, Fahmi, how about you? I mean, you work in Singapore, the marine dekat sana and over here. What are the differences and the challenges untuk kau punya?
Okay, when I came here in 2013, the challenges is to work with different nationality, different culture. At first, you start to compare our Singaporean, we work this way, then I realized that, I should not compare, if you want to compare, then better you be in Singapore and work in Singapore.
It will never end.
Yeah. So you have to step out from your comfort zone and you have to adapt to the work culture, to the people and how, how the first year is a bit difficult lah, to be honest, because in my office itself, there's a lot of nationality, I think more than 10. We have French, we have Russian, we have Romanian, we have from Italian, Portugal. So, different country has different work culture. And for me, after the second year I'm here, then I began to just adapt to it lah. I would say. You see, if your working culture is good, then you share something with them, and you think that if their working attitude and culture is good, then you follow. You take the good things. So that is what I learned lah my second year kat sini lah. So that is what I feel like. I mean, if you want to step up, you want to move from Singapore to wherever you are, especially in Dubai, because you are not only adapting to one nationality. You have a lot of nationality to work with. So then you have to adapt to the culture and to the situation.
Okay, okay. Now you're talking about this is the office. Okay, I'm sure that you handle the shipyard as well, and that is a different crowd of workers. How do you actually communicate with them? Because I know it's quite difficult.
Sure. True, because firstly it's my face lah. And when they look at my face, they categorize me as Indian, or Pakistani. So they start.
I feel you, bro. I feel the sama.
Yeah, you have the same problem.
Same problem.
So
Aku kena Filipino.
We have the same problem.
We have the same problem.
Aku kakak Nepali.
Nepali.
Kau seorang ah.
Aku Gurkha bro.
No, but I get Nepali, which
Nepali.
So basically, they start to speak Urdu, Tamil, all that. Then when you say that no, you can't speak, English, and they will look at you, one kind of, this guy is like you're Indian, but you cannot speak Hindi. So, for us, I don't know how to explain. In Singapore, you're Indian, but you can't speak Indian. So for me, it's difficult. Sometimes, I feel that they might have in their brain is that alamak ni India tak tahu from the roots tak kenang, they don't know, dah lupa daratan.
That's what's gonna happen to our kids.
yes, I'm just
That's true, it's true.
Azar anak korang tak tahu cakap Melayu ke?
Yeah, that's the problem actually.
Kau panggil budak-budak tu sekarang kasih lesson.
Tak apa. Ini aku
Sabar.
aku baru belajar tadi daripada Airul about marketing and networking. Wife aku dia Malay teacher. Dia akan dia datang ke Dubai next year. Nanti aku buka kelas. Dia belajar, dia mengajar. Korang datanglah kan. Tapi aku pakai KHDA period. Aku cuma kau siap kan.
I help. Benchmark.
Aku bawa KFC je.
Apa dia?
KFC boleh.
KFC apa?
Yes. Okay, tadi communication. But how about the working condition dekat macam at the shipyard, because I'm sure you have to go on ground. Can you please tell our listeners how hard it is, like working like on the ships, in the engine rooms?
Okay, in my industry, marine, oil and gas, so our common language is English.
Yeah.
So everyone in supervisor level, they need the common language of communication by radio, by in the meetings, all English. So it's standard. And then from supervisor to worker, then they can use their own mother tongue language or other languages. So for me, communication is not the issue here.
Other than communication.
Yeah, the working condition. Bila kau go on ground, dia punya panas terik macam mana, how you actually cope with it.
That's true lah. For especially for Middle East, not only Dubai.
Yeah.
When you talk about Saudi, Qatar, in this area, during summer, the temperature 50 degrees. So under the sun, there is a restriction during summer not to work direct under the sunlight between 12 to 3. If you don't comply to that rules, then you can be, they'll be imposed a penalty of 50,000 dirham.
50,000. There are people who come and check, right?
Yes, there are. So they really take care of the worker and the environment here, because working under the sun, even if not under the sun at 50 degree with the high humidity, is very challenging over here.
Aku nak tanya, kita siapa pernah try dekat 50 degrees tu, pecahkan telur tu masak?
Tak bro.
Tak pernah try
Tak pernah try.
Aku tak try.
Kita try ni.
Asal aku pula?
Kalau dah masak korang makan, aku tak try.
Pasal kau prop man apa? Sebab pasal prop tak tolak kau lah.
Actually we should try.
We should try. Pasal tu
Mesti kita rekod lah.
Lalu kita cakap 50 degrees, masak telur, pecah telur masak tu.
Okay.
Itu tak masak.
Aku ingat nak buat bila kita buka podcast kat desert. Tapi pada time dah
Winter.
But I tried to do like frozen chicken. I just go outside and like less than an hour and
Terus jadi roasted chicken lah. Roasted chicken.
Well done.
Well done. Kita buka makan terus lah. Okay.
But here important, like if you work under the sun or during the weather, if you're on site, you need to drink a lot of water. Take there is also dehydration drinks and pills and all that, tablets. So it's very important because during last summer I was working July, August, June, July for 2 months on site. So I've seen a lot of people just collapse, dehydration. So that's very common. And a lot of them, they knew the newcomers because they're not used. The body is not used to it, so it's like a thermal shock. So you need to. You don't even you need to force yourself with water and maintain hydration.
Because I think right, kalau orang katanya kita, how do we actually cope with it, the heat and all? I would say that it's easier for us. It's not because we are used to it. We can never get used to lowest temperature or highest temperature.
Never.
It's because we are here from transition daripada winter ke summer. Jadi kita tak macam terperanjat. Kalau kau macam datang terus summer, you will complain.
Ya, aku datang tengah high summer saya.
Really?
Aku datang was in July.
Tapi bang, you manager duduk dalam office je bang.
But
Ni.
no, that's the other thing, because when we were last week when we were in France, it was at one point it was 42, right?
42.
Leon. Anyway,
Yeah.
here like what you said, everything is AC, air conditioned, so that makes a very big difference. There, like the houses are not no AC,
Yes.
so like I know that with the day that was 42, I couldn't sleep.
Suffer.
I was suffering because there's no AC and then no wind, nothing, and
But then it's normal for the locals.
yeah.
Boleh pingsan aku.
Dorang
Ada-
fan lah. Dorang
Probably-
boleh fan.
Dorang ada kipas ke?
Yeah, like
Kipas
one
tapi kecil
little
lah.
one. Yeah,
Tapi
exactly.
kipas
like
kecil.
tiny one.
Aku tak faham. Negeri besar-besar kipas kecil.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Pergilah. Okay.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Apa dia?
No,
Afsal? Oh.
Oh, tu tak apa.
no, it's okay.
Okay, aku nak tanya Azar sikit lah. Dia, you apa tu is working. You're also a housewife. You're also a homemaker. So how do you manage your time? You ada maid tak kat sini?
oh no, that's like another episode.
Okay.
Where my husband refused to take a maid.
Okay.
Okay.
Aku rasa nanti kita boleh set up apa tu next one untuk orang lah. The differences between the two of them. Banyak-banyak.
And how you cope with that?
Challenging. No, we don't have a maid. For me, doesn't want a maid.
Okay.
So we do have a part-time help who's starting in September, who will help with the laundry.
So how you manage the time?
I have no idea. I complain a lot.
Okay.
I whine sometimes to Hyrule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aku sampai bengkak jaring ni. Kadang-kadang satu besar, satu kecil jaring aku.
Okay.
But no, I just have to do it.
Because ini tak ada apa family support pun tak ada.
Exactly. Yeah.
Correct. So you have to manage all between the two of you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we miss a lot of family support, but we have a lot of friend support, alhamdulillah, to make up for it. So, for example, when we went to Mauritius for work, Omar didn't come because the ticket was too expensive and he was schooling. So he stayed with one of our best friends, Leila.
Okay.
And he also knows like where he has all our contacts, Omar's schedule.
Diorang kasih aku pass. Okay, where with only with that pass, I can actually fetch the sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Kira-kira aku macam godfather lah.
yeah, he is. So yeah, where we lack in family support, it's made up by friends.
Okay.
actually.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, it means a lot. We always like young. We always watch TV, saying like, "Oh wow, we don't like all these American series, all these friends." But it's like that. It's exactly like that.
Okay, that's good. Alhamdulillah. Shout out to Leila.
Yeah, shout out Leila. Okay, Leila, if you're thinking of opening a childcare center while the parents are away, leave us a link and I will hook up.
Betul.
It will be included in the YouTube description.
Yes. Nanti dah senang, you can sponsor our podcast. Cik,
Boleh. Vision.
Aku punya equipment ni belum bayar balik.
InsyaAllah. You call semua panggil semua businessman first. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I get your point.
Okay, then apa tu? Sekarang berapa minit ni? Oh, dah 19. Okay, we still have one more question. Okay, between the two of you, when you just got here, you just got married kan? So you have to focus on work, you have to focus on finding job. But I still don't understand kenapa you want to stay on being a tai-tai. Okay, but that's another topic by itself. How do you guys manage that? Setting up a family, trying to get to know each other. At the same time, you are trying to get to know a new culture, you're trying to get to know a new environment, you're trying to make new friends. So, apa yang korang buat that you can survive until 13 years later?
Because I think it's not meant for everyone.
Banyak senang-senang soalan aku.
Nasib
Bang,
baik,
kita sini gegar sini bang.
Very well.
nasib baik dia tak tanya aku.
I think.
You go first.
Okay. I think for me it's.
Smart out here. You go first. You go first. It's okay.
I think for me it's the luxury life here. Again, very newlywed. So I fell into. Oh yeah, interestingly, when we first moved to the first house, the lady that we rented the house over, she's like, whatever you do not fall into the Dubai culture.
Okay.
That was the exact warning, and we're like, no, we're not, we're Singaporeans, no such thing. 2 months later, like, I want my Ferragamo, I want this, I don't want to work, but that's the thing. Again, I don't know if it's true, but I felt that it's so much easier to get this kind of lifestyle in Dubai compared to Singapore. And that was me. And also in Singapore, we didn't have a house. So maybe that's a bigger factor. It's like we live with my family.
Okay.
Yeah, for me here, okay, like a weekend in Singapore, we always visit, families. We go to orang kahwin. That's where we meet people. And here we don't have that. Later when our son born, then we have birthday party, all this play date, But at that time when we were just married, so the only thing is that we explore, we travel, and then we have like dinner. We do dinner like one weekend this house, different houses.
Okay.
And at that time also we have a Singaporean, in two Singaporean, Nadia and Faiz. I think.
Shout out to Nadia and Faiz.
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
They used to stay here.
Yeah.
In the same community.
So actually they were our first Singaporean friend.
Okay.
So they came to work in the same company. So actually 3 of us Singaporean, each different department, but we in one team that time. So they call it our Singapore Mafia that time in the office. So we were very close that time. So we stick to each other, and then we also have a group of friends in the office, different nationalities. So we go to each other house, enjoy the food, and then we have Algerian or Moroccan, then they'll cook their dishes, and introduce their culture. And we have our nasi lemak, all this traditional food. So,
But because of all, I think in Singapore, work was very stressed.
Okay.
So even if you went at 5, no such thing as going back at 5. And then when you go home at 7, when he started on the contrary, like he was the one disturbing the boss, and nobody would reply because
Okay.
it's like a really pro-family culture.
Bagus kat sini you chase the boss, not the boss chase you.
I mean the different working culture. Like I say, if you work for Singapore company, maybe it's different. I mean, you have to adapt to Singapore working culture, right? But for us here, work internationally means that you adapt to the working culture of the international. Like my first company was a French company, right? So like in French, they believe that working from this time to this time, then the other time is your quality with your family. If you on leave, that means that you should not reply to email. You should hand over your work to another person, and then if this different way of work in French company setting. So that is very interesting.
Okay. So aku rasa just to summarize, aku summarize sikit apa aku belajar daripada orang punya discussion, kita punya discussion dengan diorang tadi.
Apa?
First is yang aku belajar is masuk kandang kambing mengembik, masuk kandang rimau mengaum. About integration. Lagi satu is
that like a peribahasa that I have to teach Omar?
Oh yes. Ini homework for you guys juga. Tengok, make sure your son understand juga.
When in Rome's.
Sabar, kita Melayu dulu. Sabar. Second yang aku boleh summarize is genggam bara api biar sampai jadi arang. Jadi apa kita nak buat, kita nak kena gigih, dedication, and then we go.
Macam strike when the iron. Okay, that one English lah.
Cikgu Kadir must be very proud.
Cikgu Kadir.
Ibaratkan air cincang takkan putus lah. Itulah.
Pasal kita tak ada family kat sini. Jadi kita punya kawan-kawan tu lah ibarat air dicicang tak akan putus.
Betul.
Alamak.
Mesti.
Okay.
Tak sia kita ambil dia sponsor.
Okay, alright guys. Stay tune untuk kita punya next episode dengan Fahmi and Azar. Okay, for now, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.